we've talked a little bit. One of the things you've been struggling with has been simplifying fractions. And I think I gave you a little while back that rule sheet on simplifying fractions. Oh, and keep in mind your face isn't in here, so don't worry about it. It's only focused on the paper. And basically there's three main rules for simplifying fractions. Does it end in a 0 or 5? So can you divide by like 10 or 5? Does it end in a 2? Can you divide it by 2? Can you cut it in half? And can you divide it by a 3? And so if it does it, both sides of the fraction don't do one of those, then you probably can't simplify it. There's a couple other rules too, but those are the 98% of all of the fractions you have to deal with are going to be in those three rules. So finding halves of numbers is going to help with that. It's going to help with a lot of other stuff too, but that's where we're going to start. So I call it part 0 because really it's kind of the part that you have to know to do the rest of this stuff. It's half of all of the even numbers through 20, because when we're working with finding halves of numbers, you always want to try and get even numbers when you can, because it's easier to find half of an even number. All right, so write down half of each number. What's half? I'll do it. So what's half of 2?
1.
Half of 4?
2.
6?
3.
8?
4.
10?
5.
Okay.
6.
Good.
7. 8. 9. 10.
Okay, one of the big things with doing a lot of what I call the mental math, the math fluency, doing stuff in your head, is seeing a lot of the patterns. So obviously you see the pattern here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And something I keep saying, and I had that written on that other Halves Practice worksheet that we do, is when you get stuck, go back to where you know. So if you forget what half of 16 is, go, okay, well I know half of 10 is
5.
Okay, and then you can go, okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, something like that. So it's kind of like when we're doing that counting by tens worksheet, you want to always get in the habit of looking at each number individually, right? Like rather than what's half of 24, well, what's half of 2 and what's half of 4. So when both numbers are even, it's easy to do that. What's half of 2?
1.
Half of 4 is?
2.
So half of 24 is?
12.
Okay, easy, right? What's half of 20?
10.
What's half of 22?
11.
Good. 26?
13.
Good. 28?
14.
Good.
20.
Good.
21. 22. And 23.
Good. So pretty easy. Okay, so half of 80
is 40. 32.
Good. We're going to skip around a bit.
34.
Good.
43.
Good.
24.
Good.
30. The pencil or your finger.
Oh, sorry.
41.
Good. 41. Okay, so you pretty much get that idea. All right, so, and I just realized this is a slightly different copy of a worksheet. That's supposed to be on the next page, but oh well. If the first number is odd, what you do is you're going to break them into 2 even numbers where the first one ends in a 0 and add both together. It sounds a little confusing. What you're going to do basically is on the first number, the tens place number, you're going to go down by 1. So what's 3 minus 1?
2.
2. All right, so 34 becomes 20 plus
14.
Because that 1 you just took away over here gets added over here. So 3 minus 1, and then you're going to take that 1 and it goes over here. So 34 is
20
plus 14. Half of 20 is
10.
Half of 14 is
7.
10 plus 7 is
17.
So half of 34 is
17.
All right, kind of makes sense.
That seems a little bit more difficult though.
It is. It's one extra step, but at some point your brain's going to start doing this in your head. And the reason that you're getting used to breaking it down this way, again, it's not just to find halves of numbers, it's because your brain needs to be able to look at numbers and break them down. Say I asked you to multiply 27 times 22. Let's say 27 times 22. Okay, so you can do this on paper, but if I asked you to do it in your head, your brain would have to look at that and go, okay, well, how can I break that down? And what I would say is do 27 times 20, and then 27 times 2, and figure it out, and then add those two together. And you can do those in your head, but your brain has to be able to go, okay, 22 is 20 plus 2. And that's essentially what you're doing here, is you're getting used to breaking numbers down into easier numbers to work with. So 52, remember you're going to go down 1 on the front, and then you're going to move that 1 over here. So 52 is
42.
40. Do you want to end in a 0?
Oh, 40.
Okay, plus
1. Well, 42.
40 plus
12. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 76 is
76 is 60 plus 10. Oh no, plus 6.
16. So remember the number that you took, the 1 that you took away right here, 7 minus 1 is 6, always goes here. And then this number
It's
always
here.
stays the same, right? So 38 is
20.
plus,
18.
good, 1, 8. And if you think of it as two separate numbers, if you think, okay, I know that's the 1 in the front, and then you just got to move that over, that's fine. 94 is
Is 80.
plus,
14.
good. 56 is
40.
plus.
16.
Okay, so the reason that we're doing that is now it's really easy. Okay, what's half of 40?
20.
What's half of 12?
6.
20 plus 6 is?
20 plus 6, 26.
Okay, so half of 52 is?
26.
All right, half of 60?
30.
Half of 16?
Is 8.
So, half,
38.
good. All right, half of 20?
10.
Half of 18?
8. Or it's 9.
Good. So half of 38 is?
19.
19. So see, all you're doing is you're taking the number apart, and then you're putting it back together again. And what you're doing, you're splitting it up. Okay, half of 80?
40. 7.
Half,
47.
okay, good. Half of 94 is 47. And,
20.
good,
And 8.
good.
And 28.
Okay, half of 56 is, I can't write today, there we go, 20. So I'm going to have you do the rest of these for practice, but you more or less get the idea. It's just, in fact, I'm going to have you do a few of the top rows. 34 is?
34 is 20.
Plus?
14.
All right.
70 is 60.
Mm-hmm.
And 10.
Good.
40.
Mm-hmm.
And 18.
Mm-hmm.
60
Mm-hmm.
with 12.
Mm-hmm.
20
Mm-hmm.
with 10.
Mm-hmm.
80
Mm-hmm.
with 12.
Okay, so that's all I'm going to have you do. Like I said, I'm going to have you, you're going to finish these for homework, you're going to finish the rest of this for homework. Kind of makes sense, more or less what you're doing. All right, so it's easy when they're both even. It gets a little more tricky when the second one is odd. But when the second number is odd, lower that number by 1, subtract by 1, right? So 25 minus 1 is?
24.
All right. And then figure out half of that even number. Well, it's easy to figure out half of 24, right?
12.
All right. And then you're going to add 0.5. Your final answer, whenever the second number is odd, your final answer is always going to end in 0.5. Why? Because half of 1 is?
5.
0.5,
yeah.
right? Okay, good. So 25 is?
24
Plus
1.
All right. Half of 24 is?
12.
And half of 1 is?
25.
So half of 25 must be?
12.5.
All right, so whenever you see it ending in an odd number, it always ends in?
0.5.
5. Good. All right, so 40 is the same as, or sorry, 41 is the same as?
40.
41 is the same as 40 plus?
1.
All right, half of 40 is?
20.
Half of 1.
0.5.
So half 41 is?
20.5.
Right. 65 is?
64 plus 1. 64 is 32
Good.
plus 0.5.
So half of 65 is?
32.5.
All right, 27?
26 plus 1. Half of 26 would be 3.
Good.
And 0.5. And 13.5.
So, 83.
We're going down one, so it would be 82.
Mm-hmm.
1. And then 82 is 4 and 1.
Good.
And 0.5. 41.5.
Let's see. All right, one more.
44
Mm-hmm.
plus 1. And half 44, 22. 0.5. And 22.5.
Okay, good. Half of 45 is 22.5. So more or less makes sense what you're going to do there. Basically, first number is even, second number is odd. You always know it's going to end in 0.5 every single time. So, and then all you have to do is find, well, what's half of that, and then add a 0.5 on the end. Okay, so that's fairly easy. Where it gets tricky is with both numbers being odd. So you kind of got to combine those first two rules we learned. So you're going to lower the number by 1, so 35 becomes 34 plus 1, right? And then you got to break it into two even numbers, just like you did when you had 34 is something plus something. Remember, that goes down by 1. So 3 minus 1 is?
Oh, 33.
30, no, but...
Oh, 20.
20 plus...
1 or 4.
1 go, okay, 1 and...
14.
Yeah, 14, because remember the 1 that you took away goes in the front, right? And then the second number stays the same. Alright, so, easiest thing to do is round 35 down to its nearest even number, which is 34. What's the difference between 35 and 34? 1. 34 plus 1 is 35, right? Half of, so 34 is...
20 plus 14.
Alright, so half of 20 is...
10.
So you're going to write down the number 1. And half of 14 is... Alright, so you're going to write down the number 7. And half of 1 is...
4.5.
So half of 35 is...
17.5.
Alright, so... Wow, this is an older version of the worksheet because I actually have a thing that walks you through it. I need to get rid of that. Anyway, okay, so 31 is... So your first thing you're going to do is make it the one that ends in even plus 1, right?
So 32. Or 30.
30, good, plus?
1. 0.1, yeah.
Okay, 1. So what's half of 1?
0.5.
Okay, so that's easy. 30 is the same as blank plus blank.
It's the same as 15. Have to go down, so it'd be 20.
20 plus?
1. 3.
You keep that 1 and then the 0 stays the same, right? It's a little tricky because when you look at the ones ending in 0, it's easier. It's half of 20.
10.
It's half of 10.
5.
Alright, so see how I wrote the numbers down 1 at a time? If I didn't write down 10, I just wrote down the 1 because that's the tens place number. And then half of 10, that's the ones place number. So that's the reason we're doing it that way, because we can get the tens place and the ones place. So 15 plus 0.5 is?
30.5. 15.5.
So half of 31 is?
15.5.
Alright, so 55 is?
50. Or 54.
Plus?
Plus 1.
Alright, 37 is?
36.
Plus?
Plus 1.
73?
72 plus 1. 34 plus 1.
Alright, so 54 is?
I'm already forgetting. Half of 5 is...
No, hold on. Remember how we did the 30 is blank plus, you go down 1 on the front? Okay, so what's 5 minus 1?
50.
What's 5 minus 1?
Oh, 4.
Okay, so 40 plus?
Plus 14.
Good. Alright, so 36 is?
36 is... Half of 36.
No, don't go half of 36. Remember, when you have a number where the first one's odd and the second one's even, you go down by 1 on the first one. So
Also 26.
20 plus?
Plus 16.
Good. Okay, 72
is 60.
plus?
Plus 12. 34 is 20.
Plus?
Plus 14.
Alright, 33
is 32.
plus?
Plus 1.
And then 32 is?
Is 20. Plus 12.
Good.
58 plus 1. And that would be half
Go down by 1.
of 40
Plus?
plus 1. Oh,
1 and 8.
yeah.
Good, there you go. Alright.
20, or no,
30.
36 plus 1, 20 plus 16.
Alright, it seems like an extra step, but eventually your brain's going to do that automatically. And like I said, the reason we do that is because then you can write down numbers 1 at a time. What's half of 20?
10.
All you got to do is write down the
1.
1, because that's the tens place number. What's half of 16?
8.
Half of 1?
0.5.
So half of 37 is?
18.5.
Alright, half of 60?
30.
All you got to do is write down the 3. Yeah, that's fine, because it's tens place number. Half of 12?
6.
Half of 1?
0.5.
Good.
So 36.5.
Alright, half of 20?
10. And 7.
Oh, no, I just wrote down 10. After telling you not to do that, yeah. That's 1 and
7.
7.
0.5.
So half 35 is?
17.5.
Good. Alright,
Half of 1 and 6. And 0.5.
okay, so half 36.
16.5.
Alright, so, oh, well, let's do another couple. Okay, 40.
20 and 8.
Oh, sorry, half of 18 is?
9.
There we go.
And 0.5.
So half 59 is?
29.5. 1 and 6, 8.
Good.
0.5 and 18.5.
All right, your turn.
So go down, so I'm going to 50 plus 1.
Okay, that should actually be easy. What's half of 50?
25.
All right. If you know it off the top of your head, you don't have to sit down and break that down. Some of these you'll know off the top of your head. Like 32, you might know half of 32 is 16 off the top of your head. You know half of 40 is 20 off the top of your head. Oh, actually, this is 58. So yeah, if you know off the top of your head, like you know half 50 is 25, just do it straight.
38.
There you go.
38 plus 1. This one will get down to 20. And this one is 18. And this is now 1. 8, right?
Half 18 is?
Oh, 8. Yeah, it's 9.
9, there you go.
And this is 0.5.
Okay, good. Let's have you do a couple more.
Half of 70.
You might remember that one from the other work.